Today, I'm so grateful, humbled, and honored to have an incredibly special guest, someone who has his whole life been a real change maker, a change agent, and a positive influence on the world. I would love to introduce you today to Kailash Satyarthi, the 2014 winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, and someone who has dedicated his entire life to helping kids in child labor and child trafficking and liberating them, providing them freedom, education, and health. Kailash, it's my complete honor and pleasure to be talking with you today. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy and pleased to be here with you today.
What's your advice to young people who want to make a change? There is such a desire today in people to want to make a shift, but people are thinking either I don't have money right now to make a change in the world. I don't have people around me. I don't have time. I'm too busy. How did you do it without any resources, really? What would be your advice to them?
If we are born and we have freedom to dream, why do you dream small things? Dream big, dream biggest. If you are allowed to dream, why you simply wanted to become a local congressman? Dream to become the president of United States, or president of any country. Dream to become the UN Secretary General. Dream to become the change maker. Dream to become the biggest. So dream big, and those who dream for themselves and don't dream for the betterment of humanity, they do not create the positive mark, change in the history. Those who can dream for others, dream for the whole humanity, they make the history of a better future. Discover the power inside you. Why you are born? You are born with an immense power. If you can dream, if you can discover, then why are you sitting idle? You do, you act. History is always created by those who dare to jump inside the ring, never by those who sit on the fences and clap and criticize others. And that's why I have launched this campaign called 100 million for 100 million.
Yes,
100 million young people are victims of slavery, trafficking, violence, whatnot. On the other hand, as you rightly said, Jay, that hundreds of millions of youth are filled with energy and enthusiasm and idealism, some sort of drive to do something good for humanity, but they don't see purpose, they don't see any platform. So I have created it. 100 million young people can join to become the champions and change makers for the cause of 100 million left out sisters and brothers. We have to make the world free, safe and educated for every young man. The youth should take the driving seat and change the world for the betterment. This way we can globalize compassion. This way we can create a new culture of global citizenship. A new culture where we can love and respect and care for each other. When I was bringing those children back, I could feel something different in my life. That was the moment of truth for me, when these children were jumping on the streets, when the mothers were hugging and kissing them again and again and crying out of joy and tears were rolling down on their cheeks. I could feel that, oh, God is smiling to me. And I'm not liberating those children. They have liberated me. They are liberating me. So each time when a child is freed with my humble effort, I feel that God has given me this opportunity to make myself free. I am freeing myself from inside, and that is my spiritual act, that is my yoga, that is my worship. My drive comes from the power of freedom. But I strongly feel that compassion is a divine gift. We are all born with it. But what happens, we normally hold it and shrink it to our own siblings or close ones and so on. Compassion is an ocean inside us. First of all, we have to recognize it, we have to expand it, and it will grow and grow. It will never stop. Compassion is a feeling for others' suffering with a drive to overcome that suffering. So that is different from empathy. Empathy is feeling of suffering for others, but compassion gives you a kind of fire, a drive to change that suffering, feeling that this is your own suffering. So let us ignite compassion inside us. That I try to do. And I call my work as the globalization of compassion.
Yes, I love that. I love that statement. I have them when I was, it's beautiful. I often say that we're wired for generosity, but we're educated for greed.
Yeah.
And so much of our life is
True.
that we're, as young people, as you rightly said, we are born compassionate, we're born generous, we have that in us.
Yeah.
But then the world can sometimes try and pull it out of us.
Sometimes I say that look the world with a child's eye.
Yes.
The world is so beautiful. That's why I also believe that childhood is a value, a virtue.
Yeah.
Childhood means simplicity, transparency, forgiveness, an ongoing quest for learning new things. That is childhood.
Yeah.
And we should keep this inside each one of us. The human trafficking, the buying and selling of children and women mainly for slavery, for prostitution, to become child soldiers, that has grown as $150 billion illegal earning.
Wow.
And can you imagine that only $22 billion can educate every child in primary classes? This is 1/5 of what Americans spend in tobacco. This is just 4.5 days global military expenditure. So we have not yet prioritized the life, the safety, the dreams, the beauty of our children by way of ensuring them books and pencils.
Absolutely. And it was Martin Luther King who said that today we have guided missiles but misguided men.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge that we see today. But I really want to offer to you, and I'm hoping that everyone listening, everyone watching this right now, the big question I have for you is how can I and how can everyone who's watching and listening to this really support you in your bold but very possible, because of you, very possible goal of seeing the end of child labor in our lifetime? You know, how can we really help? How can we do that? How can we support?
First of all of us should realize that this is our problem. If the children are not given freedom, safety and education, they can become human missiles as they are becoming human bombs. They could be used, or they are being used by the fundamentalist extremist forces if we are not able to educate them properly. So this is our problem, we have to solve it. This is one. Secondly, as consumers, one must ask to the shopkeepers, to the big brand, that this thing is not made by child labor, child slaves. And that will help in putting pressure on all the big companies and brands and eventually on the supply chain. We have to build that moral pressure. I'm not calling for boycotting or banning the products. I'm not against any industry. Industries should flourish, but not at the cost of exploitation of children. So that is the second thing as consumer. More responsive, more compassionate consumerism. The third thing is that as an ordinary citizen, especially as the young citizen, one can demand to the local politicians, senators, congressmen, parliament members, one can demand to the prime minister and president that you all, through the new global development agenda, promise to ensure eradication of child labor by 2025. Everybody can do her or his bit.
Hey everyone, this week for Giving Week, I'm partnered up with the Kailash Satyarthi Children's Foundation, which is helping children become free from child labor and child slavery all over the world. It's such an important cause, and this week you can get involved in the change as well. Simply by clicking the blue donate button, you can donate as little as you like or as much as you like to this incredible cause. I'm so passionate to be involved because I truly believe that every child deserves a happy, free, and beautiful life. And with this donation, you can be a part of that change and help them have the opportunity to do their incredible work. I really hope that you're going to get involved. It would mean so much to me and even more to the children's lives it affects. Thank you so much. Click donate now.